Hello, and welcome to your daily top news briefing for Sunday, April 19th, 2026. In the next few minutes, we'll cover the biggest stories of the day, starting with India, then world, technology, business, and sports. Let's get started. Story number 1 in India news. 2 U.S. citizens carrying satellite communicator detained at Srinagar Airport. Story number 2 in India news. 8 children, between 1 to 14 years, killed after mass shooting in U.S., Louisiana. Some of the children shot were related to the suspect, officials said. Story number 3 in India news. Mylapore turned saffron today. Amit Shah lauds large turnout at rally. Amit Shah led a roadshow in support of BJP candidate Tamilisai Soundarajan, who is contesting from Mylapore. Story number 4 in India news. Former Union Minister Dinesh Trivedi expected to be India's next High Commissioner to Bangladesh. Story number 5 in India news. Map on the census portal shows Arunachal town in China. Error corrected. The site's map interface erroneously labeled his town, falling in Arunachal Pradesh's East Siang district, as a city across the border in China named Medog. Story number 6 in India news. Deeply disturbed, India raises concern over firing on Indian tankers in Hormuz. The attack, which took place on Saturday, has raised alarms about the safety of maritime trade routes in this vital waterway. Story number 7 in India news. Jalmuri break. PM Modi makes surprise halt for street food amid Bengal election campaign. Jalmuri is among the most popular Bengali street foods, made using puffed rice, chilies, and other Indian spices. Story number 8 in India news. PM Modi's Jalmuri break in Jhargram leaves Trinamool fuming. Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren and his wife Kalpana Soren had to return after waiting for hours to campaign in Jhargram as they were not allowed to land, the party says. Story number 9 in India news. Tamil Nadu election 2026. Tiruchi East constituency is grappling with civic issues for long, with TVK leader C. Story number 10 in India news. Indian tanker crosses Hormuz as 2 vessels forced to turn back after firing. No injuries were reported among the crew. Story number 11 in India news. ED arrests Kolkata businessman, raids police deputy commissioner in PMLA case. ED arrests Kolkata businessman Kamdar in money laundering probe linked to alleged syndicate of absconding criminal Biswajit Poddar. Raids also target police officer Biswas. Story number 12 in India news. Thousands greet Amit Shah at big Chennai rally for Tamilisai Soundarajan. Union Home Minister Amit Shah at a roadshow in Chennai today. Story number 13 in India news. CBI arrests DGCA Deputy Director, senior executive of private firm in bribery case. It is alleged that Bharat Mathur, a senior vice president in a major corporate group, was arrested for bribing the DGCA official of 2.5 Indian rupees lakh. Story number 14 in India news. Anganwadi workers to participate in Dharna at Jantar Mantar on April 21st. Story number 15 in India news. Talks, threats, and turbulence. Trump sends team back to Pak as defiant Iran stares him down. A U.S. delegation heads to Pakistan for crucial talks with Iran, despite President Trump's escalating threats to cripple Iran's infrastructure if a deal isn't reached. Story number 16 in India news. Is the use of satellite phones banned in India? Restrictions explained. The security protocols regarding satellite phones were significantly tightened following the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. Story number 17 in India news. Dagadarthi Airport set to be game-changer for Nellore, Prakasam districts, says MP. District Collector invites private participants to submit request for proposals by the end of April 2026. Story number 18 in India news. High-flying Iranian woman charged with moving arms worth millions for Tehran. Shamim Mafi, 44, left Iran in 2013 and got permanent U.S. residency in 2016. Story number 19 in India news. Delimitation decoded. What the center tried to do, why Oppen shot it down, and what happens next. A government bill linking women's reservation to a landmark seat expansion in the parliament and state assemblies was defeated on the floor of the Lok Sabha. Story number 20 in India news. Gun in hand, tripling on highway, three brothers' thrill ride turns fatal. The collision killed all three riders. Story number 21 in India news. Railways plans four-line corridor along coastal Odisha to decongest Howrah-Chennai route. Story number 22 in India news. Kerala elections 2026 analysis. Will minority votes consolidate or split? Kerala elections 2026. The BJP-led NDA could benefit indirectly if minority votes fragment, particularly in closely contested seats. Story number 23 in India news. Trinamool does not want women empowerment reservation. PM Modi in Bengal. PM Modi alleged that the ruling party betrayed women. Story number 24 in India news. Godfather of AI reveals biggest problem with Anthropic not releasing Mythos to public. AI pioneer Yoshua Bengio criticizes Anthropic's restricted release of its powerful Claude Mythos AI, capable of finding zero-day vulnerabilities. Story number 25 in India news. Ahead of Bengal Phase 1 polls, CAPF chiefs hold joint meet. Story number 26 in world news. 8 children killed in Louisiana shooting, police say. The children, aged from 1 to 14 years old, were killed in a shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana, which police are describing as a domestic disturbance. Story number 27 in world news. Pope says tyrant's speech was not aimed at Trump. The pontiff says his remarks have been misinterpreted after a spat with the U.S. president. Story number 28 in world news. Satellite images reveal Israel expanding Gaza military sites. Images show Israel building permanent military bases in Gaza as U.S.-backed reconstruction plans stall. Story number 29 in world news. Rat poison found in hip baby food jar in Austria, police say. The brand warned on Saturday that consuming the purees may be potentially life-threatening. Story number 30 in world news. DRC government, M23 rebels commit to protect civilians, aid deliveries. After talks in Switzerland, the two sides also made progress on a protocol for ceasefire oversight. Story number 31 in world news. Zelensky condemns U.S. extension of Russian sanctions waiver. The U.S. argues that the waiver is meant to ease the energy supply crunch sparked by the U.S.-Israel war with Iran. Story number 32 in world news. What to know about U.S.-Iran standoff over the Strait of Hormuz. Trump accuses Iran of violating the ceasefire as he announces plans to send U.S. negotiators to Pakistan for more talks. Story number 33 in tech news. Palantir posts mini-manifesto denouncing inclusivity and regressive cultures. Palantir's ideological bent has come under more scrutiny as it's worked with ICE and positioned itself as a defender of the West. Story number 34 in tech news. Nothing's modular CMF Headphone Pro are down to their lowest price to date. Over the past several years, Nothing's budget-centric subsidiary, CMF, has built a reputation for producing attractive, inexpensive products with features often reserved for gadgets that cost twice the price. Story number 35 in tech news. I've fired one of America's most powerful lasers. Here's what a shot day looks like. The laser was used to study the physics of stellar interiors and fusion energy, among other things. Story number 36 in tech news. Best Meta Glasses, 2026 Ray-Ban, Oakley, AR. Meta is unquestionably winning the face wearable war. Can you trust the company? Maybe not. But these are some of the nicest glasses I've ever worn. Story number 37 in tech news. TechCrunch Mobility. Uber enters its asset maxing era. Welcome back to TechCrunch Mobility, your hub for the future of transportation, and now, more than ever, how AI is playing a part. Story number 38 in tech news. The Stars My Destination is classic proto-cyberpunk. This might feel like a somewhat obvious recommendation to some, but it flew under my radar until now. Alfred Bester's The Star's My Destination, originally published as Tiger. Tiger. Story number 39 in tech news. Great white sharks are overheating. The sharks might also be the most physiologically vulnerable to warming waters. Story number 40 in tech news. Hisense U7 SG TV review. 2026 better design, great value. Hisense's mid-range U7 TV gets some high-end upgrades, but the competition is only getting stiffer. Story number 41 in tech news. Cracks are starting to form on Fusion Energy's funding boom. Fusion startups and investors risk deepening fissures if some key disagreements aren't settled amicably. Story number 42 in tech news. Marathon battery life makes Keychron's Ultra 8K keyboards its best yet. Keychron's expansive keyboard catalog covers everything from basic full-size mechanical boards to niche layouts like Southpaw Alice or a one-handed half keyboard for gaming. Story number 43 in tech news. U.S. sanctioned currency exchange says $15 million heist done by unfriendly states. Grinex says needed hacking resources available exclusively to unfriendly states. Story number 44 in tech news. The 11 best fans to buy before it gets hot again, 2026. Swap out your creaky old box fan for a new model that lights up, mists, or even follows you around the room. Story number 45 in finance news. Trump says talks between U.S. and Iran to resume in Pakistan on Monday. Iran's top negotiator says his government has no trust in its enemies after Trump says the U.S. won't be blackmailed. Story number 46 in finance news. Pointed News quiz investigations. Business leaders' cons. Bloomberg Tech co-host Ed Ludlow joins David Gura, Christina Ruffini, and Lisa Mateo on Bloomberg this weekend to play Pointed. Wager your points, leverage your bets, and answer wisely. Story number 47 in finance news. Uncle Sam is wrong. India and China are doing their bit to fight climate change. It is true that there is an increase in carbon emission by India and China due to homegrown consumption and lack of infrastructure. Story number 48 in finance news. Gas prices may not drop below $3 a gallon until next year, Energy Secretary Wright. Gas prices are more than $4 per gallon on average in the U.S. right now, a massive spike from just months ago. Story number 49 in finance news. FMR. Secretary of Defense Esper. It's going to be hard to get a deal done. Former Defense Secretary Mark Esper joins David Gura and Christina Ruffini on Bloomberg this weekend to discuss recent statements from former President Trump, who declared he is ready to knock out power plants and BRID. Story number 50 in finance news. Silicon Valley's AI agent hiccups, wasted tokens, and chaotic systems. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang told CNBC's Jim Cramer in March that AI agents are definitely the next ChatGPT. That's all for today's briefing. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss tomorrow's update. See you again tomorrow.